What's going on, y'all? You're listening to the Glow Up Podcast. We are part of the Soundcasting Network. I'm Miss Casey Carter.
And I'm Maurice.
And we want to remind y'all to rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Please leave us reviews. Tell us how we're doing and, give us some honest reviews. We want to hear from you guys. And don't forget to follow us at the Glow Up Cast. Sign up for that Glow Gang Spotlight. Look, let me tell y'all are signing up for this spotlight, but you guys are not replying. So to have a feature, you need to feature yourself. So if you have been contacted for this feature, make sure to reply back and send us those answers. And we'll make sure to give you that spotlight.
Yeah, man, don't shy away from that. And also don't shy away from signing up to our email list to get all the exclusive discounts. And of course, all the other segments that are included with the Glow Up Podcast might mention, the wise words from Mo. That's me. Might also mention some other things in there as well. And you don't want to miss out on that. And of course, can't say this enough. Follow us on YouTube. I mean, listen, we could be right there on your television while you're in there cleaning the crib, cooking up meals, you know what I'm saying? We're just in the background trying to give y'all some free game from some real dope entrepreneurs here. So make sure you sign up on and follow us on YouTube at the Glow Up Podcast.
Yes, and shout out to the gang. We did a catch-up episode last week. Washington officially opened last week, and it's so funny. I was cracking up because, we were talking about all the people who just went out, and we were kind of like, you guys couldn't sit down. And then right after that episode, I went out. Day 40.
Terrible.
I actually watched that episode where you say you were just kind of content just being in the house and accepting not having to go out.
And then
her feet was tapping. Her feet was tapping.
And then you went out. You was like, I can't. Let me just try to go out for a couple hours.
I forgot that I had a ticket. I was like, I have to go. Everybody I saw that they were going, and I was like, let me go. And it felt like nothing ever happened. Like there was never a pandemic, but it was amazing. But last week's episode, we just did a lot of reflecting on the pandemic and what we learned about ourselves. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, do that. And then send us how you felt. Send us some of your answers to the questions that we asked, because we all went through some shit in our own ways. And I just, I love to learn about other people's experiences. So share those with us and check out episode 206. I love that it was episode 206 too. That was nice little nod to us. But Absolutely. We have Chef Asia B joining us today. Super excited to get to know her. She's coming from all the way in Jersey. So yes. Well, let's hop into our weekly wins and lessons. Mo, I'll let you go first.
All right, it's real simple. It's really simple. Just be patient. It's one of the lessons I had to learn here. I've been a little too eager to do things and trying to get results here quicker than I should, than they should be. And I just need to be patient. Everything doesn't need to be rushed. Everything will come to you when it comes to you. And I just need to slow my ass down and just be patient. Just be patient for whatever it is that's waiting for me or whatever it is I'm trying to get results for. So my lesson was patience.
I love that lesson. Yeah. My lesson was something that I live by this, but I watched somebody go through it personally. And I'm like, this is why I am the way I am. And when you're ready, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So preparing is key. Over preparing, I'm just a quick, efficient, I love to plan kind of person. And I see how it benefits me. And I see how if you don't do that, it might not work in your favor. So try your hardest. No matter, it's never too early to plan anything, down to what you're about to do with your friends, down to what you're about to eat, down to your workout, everything. The better you plan, the more clear your schedules are, the more you understand what's going on, and the less stressed you are when the moment comes. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes. What about you, Asia? Do you have any weekly wins or any lessons you want to share with us?
Lessons, I will say just trying to be calm in a situation, especially when It involves food. Or just when stuff just don't go right, because I'm just kind of like, I'm learning to just count to 10 more, take deep breaths in and out, just kind of have that, like, that self-talk.
Yeah.
Because not everybody, can't give you a pep talk in that moment, so I have to, that's my lesson for this week, to just give myself a pep talk. It's okay that things just don't go right all the time, because that's just how life is. That is my lesson for the week.
I think we all have like a universal kind of lesson of patience,
Yeah.
remaining calm, preparing. I think those are
Because
some
I'm
really
really,
great
because
keys.
I'm really hard on myself all of the time. It's like every week I'm just kind of like, I need to just kind of just relax. It's okay. It's okay.
I love it.
It'll be all right.
That's what's up.
All right, let's hop into our vibe check. Is there anything you're currently vibing with, Asia?
I will say I'm getting more into, I've been into a lot more music lately. I gotta be in the kitchen, have music on.
So what are you listening to?
I'm listening to more of Afro beats lately. That's just been my thing lately, just listening to that. I've been listening to a lot of old rap R&B music lately too. I am an old soul for some reason. And lately I've just kind of just been into self-reflecting, just being more to myself. Just taking more time out and not feeling like I just got to be on the go. So that's what I've been doing lately.
I love that. Mo, what are you vibing with?
I am vibing with Chris Paul in the NBA playoffs. We're 2 games away from getting his first championship. I'm vibing with that. Man, it's been 16 years and he hasn't been to the finals until this year. So
Oh my God.
I've been rooting for him, and hopefully he gets his win, and he's up there with the greats, and so I'm vibing with that. So we
like
got 2
that one.
games, yeah. So I'm vibing with that for sure.
There we go. Patience, right there. Patience.
Exactly.
16. That ain't nothing.
I feel like that's the word for this podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I am vibing with, I've been watching the show since it dropped. Loki is just, every episode just gets, Mo, hold on. Are you making a face? You're not fucking with Loki?
No, you're messing with it.
I watch all the Marvel shows.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You just haven't been here.
Clearly. Clearly.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that shit is so good. They're doing such a great job. And like, Loki was just that character that, he kind of was like, ugh, this guy. But now it's like, oh, I love you. What a great guy. Or guys and gal, crocodile, so many things.
Plenty of them, yeah.
Is that on Netflix?
What is it? Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, Marvel is owned by Disney.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a great one. So I'm excited. And then what? It's all movies next for Marvel. So
yep.
Yeah,
Black Widow's out now.
I've been a Marvel movie fan since a kid.
Yeah.
Every Marvel movie that came out, I'm like, I gotta go see it.
Yeah, nice. No, I know. I got to check out that Black Widow, but Loki is definitely worth watching. I love that you have to wait every week. I hate it, but I love it because
that just kind of sounds like Hulu, like just kind of waiting.
You gotta wait and not training us to like watch everything all at once.
Right.
It's so much, but. Yes, if you're looking for something new and you have Disney Plus, definitely check out Loki. Really, really great show. Pay attention. This is one of those shows that I have to sit down and watch, and it's not the one where I throw on and clean the house and do dishes.
Oh, you gotta like straightforward, like watch every detail.
Yeah, you have to, and I love that for me.
Yeah, just be prepared to sit for like 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah,
like, I'm not with it though.
I tried when I was like, let me scroll on my phone. I was like, okay, I'm lost. I don't even like you're lost watching it. So
it's like you gotta rewind back if you just miss like an episode or two, like any.
If you miss a moment.
Yeah. If you miss a, it's fire though.
Yeah, Marvel, they like to have like lots of little little Easter eggs that all make something. So
Right.
definitely check that out. Well, let's hop into this break and then let's get to know Chef Asia B.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we are back and we are chatting with Chef Asia B. We before the mics turned on, we were talking about like how important it is to just reach out. Like you never know, and that's how Asia
Right.
came to us. She just reached out to us herself and wanted to be on the show, sent us her media kit. So shout out to her for that.
Right.
And here she is. So shoot the shots. We talked about that last week, right? Yeah, shooting your shot.
Yeah,
Like
shooting your shot.
that's all it is. But we want to get to know you, Asia. So tell us about Asia growing up. It seems like you've had a knack for food or cooking since you were little.
I have. So I'm in my 20s. So I've been cooking since I was 11 years old. For some reason, I used to watch the Food Network religiously.
Me
Like
too.
every weekend, I was like one of those like little typical different type of child. Just kind of wasn't doing all of that. So and also the crazy thing is I had an art background. So I thought I wanted to go to art school and major in art and art history, whatnot. I swear that's what I want to do up and down. I grew up in a family with soul food. So my grandmother, she used to make collard greens, black eyed peas, cornbread, and collard greens and neck bone every weekend. And I was just like, I don't want to keep eating this because
what?
I mean, when you constantly have that food made every Sunday, every other week, macaroni and cheese, I'm like, I don't want to eat this no more. Because the crazy thing is, my mom used to take me out to brunch every weekend. Like we went and ate Italian food, we ate Thai food, just Japanese. We just ate so many different foods, and I just, I was a little bougie kid. Little bougie, little high maintenance.
Man, I'll say pass the plate.
Yeah.
Hey, I know. And as I got older, and she passed away a year and a half ago, like right before the pandemic, I was like, geez, nobody makes like lemon pepper fried chicken like my grandmother. Like it was crispy on the outside and it was juicy on the inside. It was just right. I mean, I done had some dried up fried chicken. I done had some horrible cornbread, horrible mac and cheese. I mean, some of these restaurants, no dig, like they try to like bring this. I'm like, it's gotta be made right.
Yeah.
I can tell somebody don't make food with love. So I'm just like, so in the niche of that, I just one night my grandma was like, well, don't eat, that saying, well, don't eat at all then. I mean, we all was been told as a kid, like, don't eat at all then. I was like, oh, okay. So I believe I made like some shrimp scampi that night. I just picked up a pot and pan, and my mom went to the grocery store religiously every week. She seasoned, different types of food for me. Mom comes home and she's like, oh, you could cook? So that in her mind, she's like, oh, my 11-year-old child could cook. Like, oh, that relieves the stress of me cooking. Let me get you some cookbooks. Let me get you an apron. Let me get you some like kitchenware. Have at it. So that's where everything took off from. In my little mind, I was just like, how can I cook? So I combined my art background into food. And just fast forward into college. So the admissions guy came to my school. I had such a dope, like laid back guidance counselor. She was just kind of like family to us. So she made sure we wrote all our applications for schools and stuff. And I was kind of indecisive. I thought I wanted to go so far out to California to school, to North Carolina, because some of my family's down there. So I applied to Johnson & Wales, like one of the high top culinary arts degree programs that they have. And got in, but the arm and a leg of paying college tuition. So fast forward, the guidance counselor comes in. My guidance counselor tells me this admission college guy's coming out. She's like, he wants to interview you for you to so the college I went to, Monroe College, it had a culinary arts degree program, where I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna I thought I wanted to be a pastry chef. So I went through so many phases of my life in food. And fast forward, I switched my major. I said, you know what? I don't want to do culinary. I want to major in baking and pastry science. And the guy's like, oh, so I go about my day, enjoying my senior year. I got in, got some type of little scholarship thing from them as well to like pay for my first semester books. And then, I'm in that phase. Like, I can't wait to leave. I can't wait to leave home. Can't wait to leave home. Can't wait to leave Brooklyn because I'm originally from Brooklyn. Actually, I'm from
I
Crown
hear it
Heights.
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
Bro,
from Crown
BX,
Heights.
stand up.
Yes, yes, I'm from Crown Heights.
BK.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can't wait to leave. My mom's like, oh, okay. So I'm such a mama's girl. So she's getting stuff from my dorm room. And then my dad's mom, my grandmother in North Carolina, is getting me stuff. And in fact, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm leaving. This is it of like, the high school days. I'm like, I'm leaving home. And I did not want my mom to leave that day. She was the last parent to leave. I did not want my mom to leave. I was doing all this little fronting thing for the summer. I can't wait to leave. Can't wait to just be independent and, go to school and have my college kitchen classes and stuff like that. To fast forward that, didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Didn't know what that was. Had no idea of it. I do remember my mom taking me to like an entrepreneurship class at 13, just kind of like the breakdown. And then it was like a credit class, how to build your credit. Because we weren't taught that in high school and middle school. It was just, what were we taught? To go to college, get a good 9-to-5 with benefits. Yeah. There was no talk if we wanted to go to vocational school or anything like that of that sort. So I was in college. I was having a hard time. I was just kind of like trying to find my way. Everyone was making the dean list. Everyone was kind of like finding a rhythm in the cooking industry field. Some people was like, oh, when we get out of college, I know what restaurant I'm going to go work for. Because with a lot of college kids that came from upstate, that came from like different parts of like down south to come to school up north. So they're like, oh yeah, I got my job I'm going to work at and internship at. And I still was trying to find my way. I was one of those kids that just was kind of a little lost in the kitchen.
I mean, a lot of people, yeah.
But the funny part was we were making French pastries, like French food. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's just not my thing. Like, these little croissants from scratch and like the cheese danishes and like, I'm sure you heard of like, we would making like Swiss meringue buttercream, and
you was really in the thick of it. You was Frenching it up.
Like I'm tempering chocolate over like a heated boiler stove with like white and chocolate. I was like, I don't want to do this.
So then when was that moment where you like switched? Because it was like, okay, I don't want to do culinary, but now I want to be a pastry chef. Okay, now I don't want to be a pastry chef. So then when was that like full switch where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this culinary and I'm going to do it my way?
I decided that I was like, I want to do both.
Okay.
I realized I thought I wanted to do cakes and stuff. That is so time consuming. Putting the cake, icing the cake, the first layer, and then putting it in the refrigerator for like an hour. And then coating this, it's called a coat crumb when you wait and then you put a third layer on it. Like, I don't want to do that either. So I decided I wanted to be a sweet and savory chef. I knew that I was always cooking those types of foods growing up, mixing the sweet and spicy, tangy flavors together. And, fast forward after my grandmother passed, I didn't even notice she's had such an impact with me with the Southern soul food. And, Southern soul food doesn't get the good reputation it needs to get. It's fried food. It's horrible. It's not good for you. I mean, but you know what it is? It's comfort. It brings people back home. It has a story behind it. People forget about that. So that is where last year during the pandemic, I went from just being known as this pastry chef to deciding that Chef Asia B is going to be a brand. I'm going to switch. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to switch it. I'm going to tell the history of soul food. I'm gonna put a spin on it. I'm gonna put a twist on it. I don't know how. And then fast forward last summer, I rebranded everything. My company was called Asia B Sweet Treats. It was so long. People having an opinion. Oh, why is it so long? Why don't you change it? Oh, you can't do cooking and bake. I was like, you know what? That's not true. That is absolutely when you have so many opinions and people telling you can't do something, you can't combine everything. You just have to strategize and mapping out the best way that you know how see fit. Everybody doesn't see your vision, and that's the great part about what makes me different. I see my vision, and I think that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother always taught me that, and so I was like, I could do both. I'm like, I don't want to do cakes anymore, but I can do desserts. I can do some type of like cookie and like a savory cookie. For example, a savory cookie is like a brownie s'more. So I've made like a brownie s'more cookie inside, and you open it up, and then it's paired with like a caramel sauce. That in itself, and just bringing out that story and the history behind, Southern soul food, sweet and savory food. And now I'm a full-time private chef. Didn't know I wanted to be a private chef, So you start to find your niche of what you want to do in the food industry, because it's so broad, it's so big, it's so many different backgrounds. But the blessing of it, I've met some amazing people. I've collaborated, I've networked over the years. I've learned so many life lessons. Some do's and don'ts, and I'm proud of where I am.
Let's talk about some of those lessons. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so the pandemic birthed a lot of entrepreneurs who took their personal skills. I mean, you were clearly trained, but I feel like I saw on Facebook, everybody was selling plates during the pandemic.
Yes.
Everybody was taking what they was getting from unemployment and making businesses, and everybody was just out here being a chef and a cook. So give us 3 tips for those who are good at what they do and they can cook their asses off, but they still haven't made that transition into turning that business from a hobby to a real business. What are 3 tips you can share, since you went to school for this and you're really doing it?
Yeah, I mean, and I would just tell people to do it, because if you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, you're just not going to do it. You're not going to push that go button. You feel like you got to have all of this mapped out, and that's the beautiful thing, is everyone has a different story. So I would just say, just do it. Also, get a mentor. That's another thing that is so amazing to have, that some people just have that mentality. Because I don't need advice. I don't need a mentor. I could just figure it out. I mean, yeah, you can figure it out to a certain extent. So the second thing is get a mentor. And I also would think, do your research. Find what is your niche. Find what you love to do. Those are the 3 main things. That's what worked for me, and it's still working for me. Those are the three key advice I would give people. Because some people think that, I gotta have this whole plan, and as time goes by, the days and the months are being wasted. Days and months are being wasted.
So I guess overall, with the whole, rebranding and so forth, the key word is patience, right?
Yes.
So
Patience.
I guess I would say, even with your brand coming up, and even in the early stages of you learning how to cook, your grandma was a big influence into everything.
Her name was Edna.
Edna, yes. So Grandma Edna. So she was a big influence into everything you're doing. How much do you feel that her presence is in your company and then you moving forward? Because I know with me personally, when I did me doing photography, my father put a camera in my hand, just told me to take photos of everything. So he's kind of like a big inspiration into me doing what I'm doing. So with your grandmother, even you just learning, asking her what this is, how big of an influence is that, and how much of her presence shows up in the meals that you prepare for those to enjoy?
Every day, like I feel like I hear her voice, I feel her spirit. She and I hate to say that after I felt it afterwards. I guess that's the bigger blessing, was just knowing that those times I enjoyed being in the kitchen with her every day. It
Yeah.
day. I mean, the woman had me even starting to drink coffee. So I
At
feel like,
11?
yeah, it was
Oh, okay.
yeah. She had that old coffee machine type of thing. So I loved hearing that kettle thing in the morning. Like I mean, I would sit out in the front yard where, because we lived in a brownstone. So I like her presence is with me every day. And it really bothered me. I was like, damn, I don't have anything left of her after she leaves. And my mom's like, that is not true. She called me her little angel all the time. So
That's dope.
she's with me every day. And I thank her, because actually I'm doing a relaunch dinner party in like 3 weeks. So a lot of some of this is in dedication of her. So it's a lot of comfort soul food. And one of the appetizers is named after her, Edna's lemon fried chicken.
That
So
sounds so good. I don't even know what is on it. It sounds so good.
Yeah, that sounds
And
crazy.
I think it's a lesson that a lot of us can learn, especially, with everyone just kind of not cooking and kind of just a lot of Uber Eats and just
yes,
we are so out of touch. I mean, my family's from the Philippines and my grandma makes the best lumpias in the whole world
right,
and I try to make them, but I need to learn that recipe. We need to learn these recipes from
right,
our family members because I think I always say Filipinos are like this, but I think everyone's like this. Like, can't
right.
your
Everyone's
family?
family, like it's a grandmother,
Yeah.
it's an aunt,
It's an
sometimes
uncle, it's a
it's an
dad.
uncle,
Like somebody got the
someone,
recipes on deck, and
someone.
we need to do more of like, all right, let's take the time to like sit here and learn, like not just consume it, but learn these things so that we can pass these along to our children.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then I
man, I
mean,
found my mom's cooking book, and
oh
I learned how to make. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good already. But
yeah, Mo, we're gonna need a little
I learned how
blow
to
game
Already
perfect.
good
dinner
I
at it.
learned how
night.
to perfect the greens and yams. Kind of how my mom did it. But she
I know
just
where we're
wrote
going for
Esther. But
Thanksgiving.
relax. But my mom didn't like really go by the tea of, oh, you need to do like 2
Yeah.
teaspoons. She was
Right,
like,
no.
yeah, you need to do like 2, 3 of that or whatever you want to do.
Some of
whatever.
this, some of that.
She just wrote that.
Everything.
I think she just wrote the ingredients down and then measure how you fit. And I was like, all right. So I did like 4 or 5 tries and I was just like, okay, I did to
think-
my liking. I got it. So
Right,
yeah.
right. You like, I got it packed down.
That's a lesson, I would say. And that's another lesson of just like, I think a lot of our past generations cooked from their heart. They didn't cook like from Pinterest and all of these recipes that you have to put this amount, the exact amount and things like that. They all just threw in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I think that's what makes the food so special. And that's just beautiful to see that you're doing that with your cooking. I'm sure your grandma is just like looking down, like, look at my baby.
Right. She would tell you off too. She was one of those.
Oh, those are the best.
Yes. She knows what time. I'm like, and she would feel some type of spirit. She's like, oh, they can't come in this house. Something's off about them. Like, her mom and I be looking at her all crazy. I'm like, what is she talking about?
That's beautiful. Well, I mean, it's amazing to hear your journey of like trying to figure things out and what you want. And then isn't it always so funny how we always like end up exactly where we needed to be, and we be like thinking everything leads us to exactly where we need to be.
It does.
So it's beautiful that you're building your brand and that you're the one who's out here putting yourself out there, just like we said in the beginning of the episode.
I was nervous because I was like, they may not, because some people I'm like, they ain't gonna answer.
I mean, that's the reason that we are the Glow Up, because we are here to provide an amazing platform
to me every time I shoot. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
exactly. Like there's so many little lessons. Yes, exactly. So
they never hit me back.
What we Mo, you get a lot. But let's we want to learn, like, I mean, as you've been building your brand, what are 3 tips on building your brand?
3 tips. I would say do your research. Figure, get some advice. Getting advice doesn't hurt. Some people like, I don't need advice. I don't need to do that. I mean, some people have that mentality. But do your research. Also you start out with social media. Everybody don't start out with a website. A website costs money. Costs an arm and a leg sometimes. The social media is free. Word of mouth is still free. I mean, that still works in itself. And the third one is just kind of like, write everything down. Just like, I mean, I'm just old school, like typing and stuff. Yeah, but things get lost when you type in something. So get a notebook, just map out like bullet points of what you want to do, who you want your audience to be. Tell your story and live your truth. Like, don't try to keep up with what everybody else is doing, because you're not everybody else.
Those
Absolutely
on point. I love that. Tell your
I have
story.
a silly question.
Oh.
I got a silly question. I have a silly question. Okay. I got an air fryer, right? And I feel
Lord.
like I feel like I'd be killing it.
Don't we all?
Am I a chef?
Yeah, I use my air. Listen, if you haven't cooked salmon in the air fryer, it comes out nice and juicy and like just every. So try it.
Listen, that's what I do. The salmon you put in there for what, like 12 minutes?
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
It holds
it's crispy.
Juice. Yeah, it holds its juice. It got
all right.
Like that brown toasting looking.
Yeah.
On top, and then that fried chicken. I mean, I make some some fried chicken in there, and then I make my little honey hot sauce. For like my little
what?
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to have you share some recipes,
yes,
and
absolutely.
Then me and Mo are gonna have to cook them, and then we'll put this on our Instagram.
No problem.
Like, they have to be air fryer recipes, though. They like not we ain't chefing it up. I mean, we're okay, but
I can't perfect that flip.
Yeah,
you know,
let's
what I'm
do
saying?
an air fryer challenge.
We can do one.
Let's do that, Asia. You teach us. We'll cook a little recipes, and then Mo will see how we do.
I'm down.
I think that sounds good.
Okay,
I'm down.
I'm down.
That warms my heart, man. Yes. I'm a chef because I air fry stuff. A chef told me I'm a chef. That's fine.
You are. You are. Don't let nobody tell you differently either.
I know, right? Don't discourage me.
No.
What's coming up next for you, Asia?
So what's coming up next, I'm really excited, is my relaunch dinner party called Cocktails and Cornbread.
I wish we could come.
For real?
Yes.
Mo, let's go get on the PJ and let's go over to let's get
it's waiting for us. Let's get it.
It's July 26th in downtown Newark. I mean, Newark's another up and coming trying to, Newark gets this bad rep all the time. I'm like, everybody got their bad parts of cities and towns and states. So it's my relaunch dinner party, and it's with Southern Soul Food. So I thought cocktails and cornbread was just the right topic for it, because it's going to be honey butter cornbread as appetizers, and it's a whole Southern rustic theme to it. I got such an amazing event planner, Anita. She's just watched me grow over the last couple of years, and for her to be transforming my vision to life, I think is amazing. So it's a low key, like private invite only. So I just didn't want to do the whole public thing.
Yeah.
And then at the time when we were planning it, I was planning it back in February. I had no idea. We had no idea what was going to be with the pandemic. So I was just lucky to lock down the venue, Life Loft. I just had to lock it down because that venue is always booked throughout to next year. So that is what I have coming up. I'm excited about it and nervous because I'm getting these orders back from what everybody wants. And it seems like it's a lot of salmon. I'm like,
hey, we all like to be healthy. We could like our omega-3s,
It's black, but you know what? I said it's black and sin because I'm like, it's soul food. So I'm like, I gotta I gotta put my spin on it with the mac, my grandma's mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I gotta do that.
It sounds so yummy. Well, tell everyone where they can follow you and find you. And if they are a listener from the East Coast and close to Newark, how can they get in contact with you?
You can get in contact with me on my Instagram at chefasia.b. All right, try to post on there as much as I can.
Yes, yes. Well, Asia, congratulations on everything. Again, I'm sure your
Congrats.
grandmother is smiling down. Edna, right?
Yes.
Shout out to Grandma Edna.
Shout out to Grandma Edna.
Y'all make sure to follow her and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Follow us at the Glow Up Cast. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
I'm saying, man, don't forget to do that. Don't forget to sign up for
y'all
the Glow
watch YouTube, so go watch it. I mean, come on, I watch YouTube.
Come on, see that?
It's not
It
that
ain't hard.
like go on there. It's not hard.
It ain't hard. Exactly. And also, it ain't hard to sign up for the Glow Gang Spotlight. I mean, y'all reach out. We respond back.
Yes.
Just respond
You
back.
gotta follow directions
So we can
sometimes.
promote your business. You know what I'm
Help
saying?
us out.
And don't forget the email list for all the exclusive discounts, wise words from Mo, and everything else from there. So make sure you sign up for our email list as well.
We're outside, so we got some things coming up for you guys.
We're
so
outside.
just make sure to follow all of us, follow the Glow Up, and
Glow Up Podcast.
Yes, I know, the Glow Gang. And we got some things cooking. So, all right, again, Asia, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, all right, you guys, we'll see you next week.
All right, peace.